or is it the publication end is pretty consistent? Do you know? Are you involved with that end of it, or you're involved with from soup to nuts then?
Soup to nuts.
Okay.
We have a great reporting staff right now. There has been, I think it's pretty well known that the North County News has gone through some changes over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a great staff right now, reporting, designing staff, and everyone works really hard, and we all get along very well.
How many, just as a behind the scenes look, how many people in totality do you think are there between reporters and actually, whether it's delivery or putting out the paper? How many?
Oh, gosh.
Are we talking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50?
I can't. I wouldn't even know where to begin because we print in house, obviously, because
Right.
the North County News is owned by Chase Media Group,
Right. Which also does the penny saver.
Which does the penny saver. 50 years old corporation. We celebrated our 50th anniversary this year.
Happy birthday!
Thank you very much. And so we talk about soup to nuts. Between signing the stories on a Thursday and getting the paper out the door Wednesday, we really do it all in that building. So the number of people who work in the printing press, I couldn't even begin to imagine.
Wow.
But as for the core staff that, from what I'm responsible for, because I leave the printing press to the guys downstairs, they know what they're doing. I just stay out of the way and say, good job, guys.
Keep up the good work.
But for the staff that I work with, I have 4 news reporters, a sports editor, one full-time sports reporter, a lot of freelancers, and then we have 2 page designers. And then there's the assistant who helps us out a lot as well. So.
What would you say is...
Oh, and my assistant editor.
What would you say is the, like with news articles or the stories that come in, let's say, at your front desk? Mm-hmm. Is it a question of, do you take it verbatim, or do you have to do the background source or background check to make sure that the source is either real, or is it manufactured? Is it made up? Do you have problems with that, or was that also, in a sense, just you getting to know who the field is, who the players are, and getting that gut feel that says, there's something wrong with this, unless we get another corroborating person behind the story, we can't print or won't print? Because I'm sure that becomes even a question of liability with the owners of the paper, that, if you print something that is,
sure,
is not, I don't even say inaccurate, but erroneous, let's say, and you print it, you could be liable as the paper, correct?
We take that responsibility very, very seriously. Whether it's a letter to the editor, whether it's a news story, if something comes in, we do our best to fact check and get to the bottom of it. It's actually one of the reasons why for letters we require people to send their phone numbers, daytime, nighttime phone number, because we do our best to print every letter to the editor that's not libelous, and we want to make sure that the people who send them are real people and not using pseudonyms. Or
I had this conversation with your political commentary fellow, the Andy Bazzo, and the one thing that I give him credit for is as controversial as some of his topics may be, at least it's him, he writes it, and he signs his name off. I think the one thing that used to bother people more so than everything else is when they used to see the letter to the editor, but it says name withheld upon request.
Right, I don't, our philosophy at the newspaper is that we will not run those. There would have to be a really good reason, public interest, something going on that we would run a letter and withhold a name. I think it's very important that people sign their names. If
the name is withheld, does that mean that they may have entered the name when they sent the letter, but their request was that you not print it?
Right.
What happens if someone sends in a letter to the other without a name at all?
We can't print that.
Just in the file.
Right. We'll hold on to it.
Yeah.
And,
like I said, I don't mind a person
get a phone number. We might try to encourage that person to put their name on it. If there's, for some reason, for greater public, if they were reporting, if their letter to the editor said that there were atrocities going on in some factory that we really should check out, we would take that and we'd use that as a story and we'd go figure out what was going on.
Right.
But otherwise,
not print the letter verbatim as is, in a sense, without any back check
exactly.
behind it. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Very good.
Sure.
Where are you? Does the North County News? I understand you're trying to form now even like an internet, or you're trying to tap into the internet, and I believe you're trying to go. You have your own website and everything, but do you see the North County News going onto the internet, whether it's they're hosting their own website or having other people? Give me an idea. Is this in the future plans?
Oh, definitely. for the future of all community newspapers and all newspapers, period, the web is going to play a very important role. So we have a website now, but we're definitely working overtime on revamping it. We want to make it more interactive, and we have a goal of wanting it to be a website that everyone's going to want to have as their homepage, because they can get all of the information that they need about their community in the morning, whether it's traffic or road closings or the local news that's hitting the street.
So you have a website currently right now up and
Yes.
running. What's the name? Just for our viewers?
www.ncnlocal.com.
Okay, so can people go there and post something on it, or is it just strictly an information sheet that has everything like your story that you ran?
We
and
have
everything?
blogs. People can do posts.
Oh, there is a blog on it then. Oh, okay,
Sure.
so they can
Different
post
community blogs. I think the most active one is usually the Croton blog.
Really?
Yes. But yeah, no, there's definitely blogs, and we encourage people to go to the site.
Oh, very good, very good. Who's been your mentor since you've been at the paper? Has it been, or is it a combination of multiple people? Bruce Apar, of course, is the editor-in-chief, and Carla Chase, I believe, is the owner. But is there someone specific, like between those two, or maybe even someone, maybe one of the guys downstairs in the publication that, he took a liking to me and he said, look, this is how you do it, or, kind of led you to the cafeteria line, what I mean? Was there one person you can point to?
Well, I first of all, I'd like to say that both Carla Chase and Bruce Apar have been wonderful role models. They really embody the spirit of, quality, truth, integrity, and that's our company motto. So they've been great and very supportive.
Sure, it's nice when you walk into a situation, the environment is there for, to make it conducive for you to be comfortable, you're doing the right thing, as compared to maybe doing something on the side that could get you in trouble, or taking a chance that really could lead you to liability issues and everything else.
Well, sure. I mean, they have high expectations of their employees, and we have high expectations of ourselves.
Right.
And so it works well. So, and I know that, I do the right thing, and they'll have my back. And what can be better than that? What could you ask for?
So now, is it true that you have a big picture of Bruce in your office, and you throw darts out because he's the next in line, and you got to knock him down some way? Is that true or not?
No. Bruce and I have a great, friendly relationship on the job. We get along well. And we of course we have our spats about different things, but it's all part of the job.
It's just like a relationship, and listen, there's got to be that little argument. You want the cream to rise to the top.
Right.
So as long as the better idea,
I think the paper's better for it.
That's good. That's good. What do you like about your position?
Oh my goodness, I consider the opportunity to be the managing editor of the North County News a great gift, actually. I grew up with the North County News. It's always played a role in my life, and to have the opportunity to help it grow and help it, make a difference in the community, it's great. And I consider it a privilege that, to be able to write and have it published, and that people read it, and I take it very seriously.
So do people, when you go around right now within the communities, are they starting to understand, or do they recognize that there's Kathleen Fitzpatrick, the managing editor of the North County News? Is that starting to fit in? Do they recognize that yet, or is a year is not that long of a time. It is. I mean, in a political cycle, one day is a year, but in a reporter's age, maybe it takes 2 or 3 really to get established.
Sure. Certainly, I would guess that most of the elected officials in the area know me by now. But for the rest of the community, it does take some time. So I have done my best to get out there and meet people and go to local events. That's part of the fun of being a managing editor, is to get to go to events at T-Town or the hospitals or whatnot to meet people in the community. And it's also great having grown up here, because just by the nature of having grown up here, I know a lot of people. So,
Sure.
I'm involved with Rotary. I'm a member of St. Patrick's Catholic Church. I teach CCD. So I'm also involved in a lot of different things.
Sure, and like you said, growing up in the community, you have what I call the tentacles into the community. So I'm sure they already, the ones who already do know you, there's already that history and background. So that's not a question of trying to make them come over to your side. They already know who you are. It's a question of just alerting everybody else, hey, this is who I am, and this is the type of person I'm this reporter, I'm the editor, and this is the type of person I'd like to that I'm